Welcome to our posts. Today we will see stories of r/I don't work here lady. Lady complained to my dispatch. When I was a long-haul truck driver, I had a delivery of shopping carts to a store. So arrived closer to closing time of the store and asked if carts could be unloaded at that time. Got a simple, come back tomorrow, cause there is not enough stuff on site. Not a problem for me. Requested to drop trailer in a dock and come back at opening hours. Really didn't feel like sleeping at the angle and the lot was empty. Also important for later, got a permission and off I go. In the morning while trailer is unloading I walk through the back door and go shopping. Some lady walked up to me and started asking questions. I'm in headphones and not really paying attention. Feel a tap on my shoulder and take a look behind me. Lady, are you deaf? Me, excuse me. As I'm pulling out my phone and headphone. Lady, I asked you, where is food ingredient is? Me, sorry I don't know. Lady, why won't you know? Me, I'm not local. Lady, but you work here. Me in shorts and a shirt that has a smiley face and says sorry I'm late. I didn't want to be here in the first place, do I look like I work here? Lady, I seen you walking out from back door. Me, sorry I don't work here. Ask an employee, I just walked away and continued my shopping. Paid for my shopping and slightly disappointed walking home, got a phone call that my pickup is next day and in another state. So no parking for 36 hours, renting a car and going to Vegas or beach. This lady comes back to me. Lady, help me load my stuff in car. Me, I really don't have time, gotta load up my shopping in truck and go back to my trailer. Lady, are you serious? Who is you manager? Me, yep, and my dispatch needs me back on road ASAP. So I walked away again and loaded my truck. As I'm hooking up phone rings. Yeah, I'm a call back from road. So I call back my dispatch and get usual, are you on time for your second delivery and are you making that morning pickup? Me, yep, all good. I'll sleep on site at pickup location. Dispatch, so what did you do? Me, nothing yet, but I'm thinking now. Casual joke and my dispatch got a sense of humor. What's up? Dispatch, got a call from this lady. She complained that you refused to help her and she won't come back to that store again. Yes. She looked at a truck. Googled company name, seen on Google that company is from a different country and still called to complain on me. Told my dispatch about this lady and he said, I just hung up on her cause she sounded crazy. Talk to you tomorrow and let me know once empty at second stop. Next story. Got yelled at for eating chips. I'm posting this now, as it's fresh and I'm still in shock that it happened. I've been mistaken for an employee at many various times in my life, and a few of those times have been worse than this, but this one ranks pretty high on my what the F list. About an hour ago, I snagged a ride to the gas station near my house because I was hit with a pregnancy craving for chips. Uneventful 5-ish minute ride, and got a particularly nice Uber driver who said to take my time. She was marking me dropped off so I would only be charged for part of the ride and she'd take me home free of charge. So the adventure started off nice. Go inside gas station and am standing in front of the chips, trying to decide how many bags I can buy without my husband getting miffed at me spending too much money. Don't worry, he doesn't actually get mad. I probably look like I'm carrying twins, because this child is already well above average size, lucky me, so I know I take up a good chunk of real estate wherever I'm standing. After a minute or two, I hear someone clearing their throat. I automatically figure I'm in the way, so I say excuse me and step back to let what I now see to be a 40-something-year-old woman. Again, let me remind y'all we're in a gas station. Not a supermarket or any sort of store where you'd think to see employees in the aisles. Heck, there really aren't many aisles. Anyway, she doesn't walk by, so I started to move to the end of the aisle, figure she didn't have enough room to comfortably get by. But is it ever that easy? She stepped forward and asked where I was going. I replied I was moving out of her way, to which she responds with saying I can't just walk away, she needed help. That stumped me. Help as in? So I asked just that. She fires back with, I've seen spicy lime lays here before so I want to know when you'll get more or if they're in a different spot. Now I realize what's going on. I tell her I don't work there, but apparently that wasn't the correct answer. Instead of an, "Oh, I'm sorry," or even just a rude stomping away, she says, "I've seen you here before. Just because you're pregnant doesn't mean you can't help a customer." Obviously she was going to stick with that, so I just walked back, grabbed a few bags of chips and walked to the next aisle to see if I wanted anything else. I heard a few "excuse me" after that but just ignored her. Paid, waddled outside. However, much like late-night TV during the 90s, but wait, there's more. I don't know if this woman wasn't willing to admit she was wrong, or seriously thought she wasn't wrong, but she decided the obviously next appropriate action was to follow me out. I went to open the car door and this squawking loca puts her hand on the car door, making to shut it. Proceeds to tell me I can't just walk away from a customer asking a question. If you're wondering where the actual clerk is, well, so was I at this point. I honestly could not believe this was happening. Hell, I still can't believe it happened. Thankfully, like I mentioned, I'd gotten a pretty awesome Uber driver. She popped out of the car and asked if I was okay. Karen shoots off that she wasn't talking to her, but before I could say anything else, driver says, "Well, now you're talking to me. Get the hell away from her and my car before I come over there and slap you so hard, you won't remember how to talk." I'm not entirely sure if that made Karen realize I wasn't an employee or if it just scared her enough to make her find a different employee, but she hustled to a vehicle a few spots over and got in her car. I got back in the Uber and we watched her leave. Guess she forgot about her chips. After making sure I was alright, the Uber driver and I had a pretty good laugh on the way back to my house. She still wouldn't even accept a tip from me, but I sneakily tipped her in the app after she drove off so she couldn't argue. Honestly, I'm waiting for people to show up so everyone claps, because I still can't fully believe that this event happened. Especially at a gas station convenience store, and not even a big one. It wasn't even the size of a 7-Eleven. So what in the world made her assume a woman in a sundress, the employees of this chain of stations were a turquoise polo, who just so happened to be standing in front of the chips, was an employee? And why continue bullheading forward after being told I don't work there, then not just walking away, but purchasing items and leaving the store? Times like this, I am truly stumped as to these people's thought process. Part of me really wants to know what they're thinking that leads them to this insane behavior, but the other part of me knows I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. At least I got my chips. Next story. Regularly mistaken for an employee at high-brand shops. I'm an Asian female in my late 20s and I regularly get mistaken for a sales associate at high-brand shops like Hermes and Dior. One obvious reason is because I normally wear a dark business suit. I go shopping on behalf of my employer, for whom I work as a private assistant. I cannot afford any fancy clothes myself and I only have one business suit and some worn-out clothes inappropriate for these luxury stores. I often have to wait in a virtual queue for 10 to 20 minutes, and while doing so I just browse the store with my phone in my hand. This is when other customers start asking me questions. I hardly ever get yelled at or anything, but they are so rude and condescending. Some of them glare at me while approaching me, probably because they think I'm an unprofessional employee distracted by my phone, and they literally never apologize when I, politely, tell them I don't work there. It's also annoying because I patiently wait for a real sales associate for more than 10 minutes and these people who have just arrived expect to be assisted immediately. I've been doing this for nearly 2 months now and it's so stressful. Does anyone have any idea how I can avoid these situations? I unfortunately can't change my attire for the reasons I mentioned above. It's difficult for me to get any classy but less businesslike clothes to wear for these shops. Edit. Wow, I didn't expect to receive so many comments. Huge thanks to those who gave me some practical advice and kind words. I'll try to get something nice and affordable at a thrift store and I'll also discuss the situation with my employer. Once again, thank you. Next story. Berated for reading cereal boxes. Helpful background. I have a social anxiety disorder which used to be completely debilitating, but now, after a lot of hard work, is fairly well managed. I navigate normal routine social interactions in small doses with minimal anxiety and most always have a friend/family with me in public for moral support and to intervene if I get overwhelmed by something. Hubby is great and has helped me a lot to become more functional. Somewhat relevant to the story is that he is 6 feet 4 inches and what I call work fit. He doesn't go to the gym. He's not buff like that, But he's not scrawny either because he works hard running a construction crew working right alongside the guys. He's a calm, steady presence and never gets upset. The incident, hubby and I went to the Walmart to grab some quick groceries. I wanted to select a different cereal for a change and the ones I was interested in were on the bottom shelf or two. So, I squatted down next to our hand basket and began the process of reading ingredients and comparing my options. Grabbing a box and reading some, grabbing another, reading, put one back, try another, etc. I felt happy doing this, so hubby went a few aisles over to grab some PB&J. Enter male Karen, MK. MK arrives and asks where some kind of sandwich spread is that I'd never even heard of. I'm now focused in on reading the cereal ingredients, so I don't even look up and just say, I don't know. MK, well, get up off your *SS and help me find it or get someone who can. You're not really doing anything, just rearranging boxes trying to look busy, you're not fooling me. Me, looking up shocked into a reddish belligerent face looming over me with a finger pointing at nothing in particular. I shut down. I can't do anything but shake my head no, and try to sink lower into the floor. I look back down at the box in my hand as my hair falls around my head, partly shielding me from my surroundings. MK pushes my basket away from me into the middle of the aisle with his foot and begins berating me and all the lazy good-for-nothing workers of his imagination for not rushing to his service. I kind of fade out and only really perceive his tone and insistent threatening presence at this point. Enter hubby. I am brought back to reality by the familiar presence of hubby as he plants one foot at my side between me and MK, the other just at my back, and one hand gently on my head. Then he utters only 4 words in a tone I have never heard him use before, a couple of notches lower than his usually quiet manner, each word spaced out like it was its own sentence. You will leave now. I felt a danger chill go down my spine. Silence. I look up through my hair to see red face has gone completely pale, eyes wide, mouth silently opening and closing like a fish chasing an elusive invisible morsel. Suddenly MK turns and half walks, half jogs around the corner toward the front of the store with an odd shuffling gait, his head tucked toward his shoulders as though imitating a turtle. Hubby helps me up and makes sure I'm okay. I decide I need to go home, so we head quickly to the exit. MK is nowhere to be seen. Guess he didn't need that sandwich stuff so badly after all. Next story. Obvious, guest got mistaken as an employee. I work in a hotel that has a split lobby, so when you walk in you are in an area with a table, chairs, vending machines, ice machines etc. There is a door that leads into the area where the front desk is to check in. The door is glass and there's a wall-sized window next to the door. You can see the desk from the main door clearly. I had a guest who was already here for their second night. They are in the lobby getting something out of the vending machine, puts something in the microwave and sits down to wait at the table. This guest was wearing pajama pants, a tank top and no shoes, just socks. Also to add, it was like 6 a.m., this man clearly just woke up. As this guest is sitting at the table on his phone, a man and woman walk into the main door. I look up through the glass door, it was open. I said my greeting, hello, welcome, how can I help you? The couple look at me, look at the man sitting at the table, walk up to him and say, we just need a room for one night. Guest sitting at the table looks up confused and tells them he doesn't work here, they have to talk to me. The couple apologized but looked annoyed and then walked into the other side of the lobby to talk to me. I was wearing my uniform shirt, my name tag, and I was standing at the desk in front of the computer, behind the desk that says, check in, on a big sign. I am also female with a very soft voice, so I don't think they thought it was him who said hello. Shockingly. This is the 3rd time this has happened on my shift. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure like, comment, share and subscribe the channel our posts.